Hi there, and welcome to week 2 of the semester. I'm happy to be coming to you with an intact voice and feeling quite a bit better than I was when I was getting this whole thing set up. I'm actually recording this video in San Mateo. I'm out of town Saturday through Wednesday for the Northern California Fashion Market for my business, and I love the fact that I can still be in touch. I have apologies to those of you if anybody tried to come by my office hours this last Thursday. I did send out an email letting you know in week 1 that I wouldn't be able to make it. My sister, had 42 years old, had a stroke when I was in Portland visiting her, and fortunately is doing fabulously. Got out of the hospital a day and a half later. Expected a full recovery, but it was pretty scary. She's my only sister, and I love her dearly. So I was up in Portland all last week and just came back to Humboldt in time to repack my bags and head down here. So it's been a little bit crazy start to the semester, but I'm looking forward to getting underway now. I will be in my office this coming Thursday. I get back Wednesday. I'll be on campus pretty much most of the day Thursday. So if you can't come in between 11 and 12 and you want to drop in and see me, drop me an email and I'd be happy to set up a time to meet with you in person. There's no reason that you need to do this, but some people like to put a face in person to the whole situation and ask some questions about Moodle or about the class, and sometimes it's easier to do that in person. Otherwise, let's just sort of steam forward with what we're going to be doing this week. I want to look back a little bit at week 1. Only to say how much I enjoyed reading about everybody on the Getting to Know You forum, and I appreciate all the information about you and your sharing information about yourself with others and your responses to each other. And just like every week when we do this, when we do a type of forum, we won't be doing this type of forum every week. They start to look a lot more like general discussion boards from here on out. You have 2 deadlines for most of these things, an initial posting and a follow-up posting. And both of those are required in order to get credit for the assignment. So it's always important to remember that if you do your initial post, you have to go back by Sunday to do the follow-ups. Okay, that's one thing to think about. Another thing is you took your pretest for begin your research last week, and you got started on doing some research. And I've been taking a look at people's contributions to the research collections, and folks had some good things to add there and good articles up here. If you haven't looked in here yet, please do this. I'm making comments this week. I do apologize. I usually get on this right away at the beginning of the week, but because at the fashion market, I'm pretty much 10 to 12 hours a day straight, meeting with clothing reps and things like that. I don't get much of a break to try to give you feedback on this, but I will be giving you feedback on Thursday when I'm on campus, and I'll send an email out. And how I do it is by using the commenting function in Google Docs to make comments about different areas. But on the whole, folks have been doing a good job with this assignment. A couple small observations that I've made overall is just to remember that for college level writing, generic websites like, well, Wikipedia for one, but How Things Work and About.com and basically things that are like general reference materials, like encyclopedias and dictionaries almost for the internet, aren't college level resources. So you can use those sources, of course, to get overviews of subject and maybe link to articles through them on occasion or get more specific search terms. But your research for the class and things that you post on here should be more specific sites. So try to avoid those generic ones. And always pay attention. The 2 most important boxes on this spreadsheet are the summary, where you tell just what is said in the article, and then the analysis section, where you talk about what you think about it. But all that stuff is explained further, of course, in the research collection and curation overview. And so review that again. If you just started posting there, and sometimes it helps to review assignments after you've done them a little bit to sort of kickstart you into thinking about that. But I wanted to comment on that. And once I get all caught up with this week's grading, since it is going to be a little bit delayed, I'm usually within a day or two, really a day of responding to you whenever things are posted. I will, as soon as I get caught up and all the grades are up to date, I'll send out an email on Thursday and sort of point out some highlights of how the gradebook works if you're not really familiar with using the gradebook function. Other than that, this week we're sort of off and running. There's reading from our textbook. You're going to start, you did one type of thing you're going to be doing at the beginning, which is the research collection and curation. You also, this last week, did some of Begin Your Research. You're going to continue that this week. But there's two other types of regular assignments that you're going to be introduced to this week, and there are overviews for these for the Writer's Toolbox. Okay, so there's an overview here for you to take a look at, and analytical responses. Both of those assignment overviews, which are up in the preparation section here, go into detail a little bit about those, so I don't want to be repetitious. Please take a look at those overviews so you understand that we alternate back and forth on the Writer's Toolbox between reflection and activities, and your analytical responses, which are your analyses of readings from our class textbook. And just the one comment to make about analytical responses is that these are not about the general texts about writing, which you will also be doing. You will be reading, like this week you read in week 2 you'll read the chapter called I Take Your Point, which is about writing and about responding in writing. But when we're doing analytical responses, you're actually going to be writing about the themes, social media this week for our pop culture theme that we're doing. So that's your analysis is of the reading that we did from our textbook on that. And you can also incorporate things from your research and your own knowledge and information. That's what analysis includes, is actually synthesizing ideas from different places in order to reach conclusions and share your points with others. As always with analytical responses, you have an initial deadline. I mean, your Writer's Toolbox reflection is due on Tuesday. That's when they usually are. Because it's a reflection, it's only a single deadline and not 2 deadlines. On Thursday, you have your response to reading, your analytical response, and your follow-ups for that are due Sunday. And then again, Sunday is the deadline for Begin Your Research chapters. And that's, again, you need to go to the research collection and curation overview if you have questions about those chapters. And there's videos in there for you to watch about them too. And adding more things to our pop culture research collections. And it can be any of the collections within this whole section. You don't have to stick just to the general pop culture. You can include things on social media since it's our topic this week, or even sort of jump ahead into video games and popular music and pop art and other topics within the subject. And that's about it for week 2. We're sort of getting to be more familiar with more assignments, exploring this thing. I mean, please go ahead and feel free to look forward at weeks 3, 4, and 5, which get further into pop culture, other assignments. You'll be doing topic proposals next week for your first essay on pop culture. There's a lot of exciting stuff to come, but sort of getting into the groove of things here. And if you have questions at any time, please do email me and let me know. I'm happy to answer questions by email. Remember, you can also post your questions up in this collaborative class Q&A. So if you want to post a question here that other students will see the answer for, or maybe even give you the answer for, you can post here and email me at any time. I hope that you had a great, beautiful weekend with the sun shining like it was, and we'll see how the weather continues as we move into spring here. I suspect we have some more rain underway. But I'll see you on Moodle, and I look forward to it. Bye now.